What's going on? I'm going to be going over my blue-white freedom blockers list that got me first place at locals. I managed to take first place in 3 rounds and it got me the Gundam aerial winner card. We'll start out with the units and I'll just go in low to high order. So for our level 2s, since we don't play any level 1s, we have the Zoward. This is a level 2 cost and 3-2 for its stats. It is a blocker, but it cannot choose the enemy player as an attack target. So it's really just to trade with the enemy units. So anything they want to go in early with, this will stop them. And that's it for level 2s. For level 3s, I have 4 of the Gundam Lifrith. So this one is 2 cost and 2-4 stats, and it's just a blocker. You are able to attack with it. Usually it stops any early game aggression because it has that stat line, so usually you get a 2-for-1 with it in trades. And then I have 2 of the Rizel. So the Rizel is just for its stats, so it costs 2 and it is a 4-3. So it's really able to just get through a lot of things and take out that EX base, and even kill a Gundam Lifrith without dying itself. And then on to the level 4s, we have 3 of the Gundam RX-78 from the starter deck. So this one is 3 cost, it has repair 2, and then during pair, during your turn, all of your units get 1 AP. So it makes all of them bigger, able to swing over the EX base sooner and take out some bases that you wouldn't normally be able to. Same with some trades. And then he also links with Amara Ray, which goes really well in combination with him. And that's it for the level 4s. Now for the level 5s, I have 4 of the Perfect Strike Gundam. The Perfect Strike Gundam, it is a blocker, and then on deploy, choose 1 enemy unit with 1 HP, return it to the owner's hand. And then it has 4-4 for its stats. And it also links with an Earth Alliance trait, which is our Kira Yamato. Next, level 5 is 4 of the Ale Strike. So same stats as that one, it just costs 1 more, so it's 4 cost. It is also a blocker, but then when paired with a level 4 or higher pilot, which all the pilots we play are, you can choose 1 enemy unit with 4 less HP, return it to the owner's hand. So we're really just trying to set our opponent back. You trying to get them to get their units out of the way and make it so that you can have some favorable trades, kind of the goal of the deck. That's it for our level 5s. On to the level 6s, I have 1 of the Aerial Rebuild Gundam. So it costs 5, and then when paired, choose 1 command card that is level 5 or lower from your trash and add it to your hand. We don't play anything that links with it, but it's just a good card to recycle some of your commands that you might need later in the game that you've already used. Now on to the level 7s, I have 3 of the Freedom Gundam. The Freedom Gundam costs 5, it is also a blocker, and then during pair once per turn, when you pair a pilot with this unit or one of your white units, choose 1 enemy unit, it gets -2 AP this turn, and then it links with Kira Yamato, and we have a 4-6 stat line, so basically you're able to bring your enemy unit's attack power down, and that's how you can get some other favorable trades. And for our last unit and last level 7, we have the Gundam Unicorn Destroyer mode. So the first block doesn't matter because we're not playing any of the Unicorn mode Gundams. But we have, when attacking, you can choose 1 enemy unit and rest it, and it links with Benager Links as 5-4. It is basically just our endgame card to push through for that last swing, so you can rest one of their blockers that's stopping you. Now on to the pilots, we have 4 of the Kira Yamato. So Kira, he is a level 4 that costs 1, and when attacking, you choose 1 enemy unit, gets -2 AP during this battle, and then he gives +2/+1. So he is great with any of the Strike Gundams and your Freedom because you're able to link with them. Then you can trade into stuff and he'll give -2 AP, so you're usually not dying. And then especially with the Freedom Gundam, because you're able to -2 with the Freedom Gundam and then minus another 2 with the Kira. So it really gets your enemy's AP down to low numbers. Then we have 4 of the Amuro Ray. So Amuro, he costs 1 and he is wind paired. Choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. So he allows you to rest your opponent's active units, so you're able to either swing into them or swing past them. Either way, it's pretty good, especially with the Gundam having the repair. And then we have 2 Benager links. So Benager, he gives +2/+2, and if it's a link unit, you draw a card when paired. He is really just used for that +2/+2 stat. You put it on one of your blockers and you're pretty big. And then the occasional link with the Unicorn Gundam. So now on to commands. I play 2 of the Striker pack. So Striker pack is level 4, cost 2. And then burst, if you have no Earth Alliance unit tokens, you can deploy one Ale Strike that is a 3/3 blocker. And then its main is if you have no Earth Alliance unit tokens, you can deploy either a Sword Strike, which is 4/2, or a Launcher Strike, which is 2/4. So it's basically just another copy of Gundam Lifrith, or in some occasions, you want to put that 4/2 out so you can trade with your opponent's high health units. Then we have 1 of the Hawk of Endymion, got Mulaflaga. So his effect is main/action, choose one enemy unit with 3 HP or less, return to the owner's hand. And he's also an Earth Alliance pilot, gives +1/+0, so he's able to link with the Perfect Strike Gundam. And then for the last command cards, we have 4 Overflowing Affection, and we have 3 A Show of Resolve. So these are your draw cards. Overflowing Affection, basically your turn 1 play, because usually you want to go second. So main, draw 2, then discard 1. And then a Show of Resolve, which is mid to late game, replenish your hand to outgrind your opponent basically. It is cost 3 to draw 2 cards. That is your draw power of the deck. And then lastly, we have the bases. So I have 2 Archangel. It costs 1, then activate main. You can pay 2 to choose one friendly unit with blockers. That is active. It can't attack this turn. So it basically allows you to get a little more aggressive with your blockers so that you can swing with them to either take something out and then re-rest it so it can block the next turn. And then I have 3 white base. White base, it costs 2, and then it has activate main. Pay 2 to deploy 1 Gundam, which is a 3/3 if you have 0 units in play. If you have 1 unit in play, you can play a gun cannon, which is 2/2. And then if you have 2 or more, you can play a gun tank, which is a 1/1 token. So basically, it allows you to play out units when your hand is low, or if you want to keep those units in your hand for later and try to get a little aggressive with this. Basically defend this base, and then every turn you're able to pop out a new unit. It really goes the distance if you're able to just keep some blockers on board and prevent your opponent from being aggressive. So that's why I'm playing it 3 of this and 2 of this, because it just helps you get there in the grind games, I guess. So for my matchups, round 1 was against an Earth Alliance Academy deck. So it was basically an all-white build, and they played a lot of blockers and a lot of command cards. Really, I was able to just control the board by resting some stuff with the Gundam and swinging over all their units till they kind of ran out of units, and I was able to just draw more cards. Round 2 was against a blue-red aggro deck. That one, I was able to live long enough to just set up a huge board of blockers. And then along with the white base, I was just able to spawn out a bunch of tokens, control their board a little bit, and then the tokens were able to just swing all the shields away. And then round 3 was against a green-white wing blocker deck. So that one was against ramp. They were able to actually ramp up pretty quick. I had an okay start. Eventually was able to get out a couple wing zeros, and I had to make some kind of bad trades with swinging in 2 guys into it. I think it was a Rizel and then maybe something else to get rid of it, and had to do that twice, but at that point, he had like 1 or 2 cards in his hand, and I still had like 5, and then I kept drawing cards. And then the white base came in again, just spawning out bodies so that I was able to keep my hand size up to finish the game off. So I'm sure that most people know how to pilot deck at this point, but in your opening hand, you basically want something like this, so you're able to draw cards early and then play out some blockers. Probably go that one and then that one. And then by the time you get to the 4th turn, you're able to get into your Amuro to make some favorable trades with the Gundam. And then the turn after that, you're able to do the Ailstrike Kira play. So those are usually what you want to open up with, and then the Rizel just to have a big body that can swing in, Show of Resolve to draw more cards, and the Striker Pack to defend yourself some more until you get into the late game, which then you're able to get your Freedom out, and then that makes a lot of favorable trades because you're able to just -2 AP like every other turnish, depending on how many pilots you open up, but that's why we play 10 pilots. And then the Unicorn Gundam, if you see it, it kind of is the game ender. So some of the changes that I probably would make is next direction, I kind of want to go into more aggressive build, so I might cut the Freedom down and put some more of the Unicorn Gundam in, along with increasing the Rizel to higher numbers. We'll probably bump the Zwart down to get some more aggressive stuff like the Unicorn Gundam. And while we're at it, probably bumping Benager up to increase the numbers. And also for a bit of a better early game, probably get rid of the rest of the Zwarts for maybe GM or something like that. Probably decrease the amount of perfect strikes because you only have so many turns you can play these blockers in before you get to the Freedom, and then you're wanting to play that one out instead. Really just turning it to a little bit more aggressive. You still have the blocker package with a few Freedom Gundams, the Ailstrikes, and probably keeping a couple of the perfect strikes along with all of the Gundam Lifriths, because that is your best early game. So that is my Freedom Blockers deck that got me first place at Locals. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, and thanks for watching.